Greetings, Dapplings, and welcome to a new first taste for the channel, where today we're going to be checking out Floodland, a new game for PC with a planned release date of the 15th of November. But first, as you're probably already aware, given the title of this video, this is a sponsored video, so allow me to offer my thanks to the developers for giving me the opportunity to check out Floodland ahead of its release, and to encourage you to check it out for yourself during Steam Next Fest, up to the 10th of October, using the link you can find in the video description below. Now, onto the game itself. What is Floodland? Well, in a nutshell, Floodland is a reimagining of a familiar post-apocalypse scenario with a healthy dose of colony management. In this game, you're tasked to lead your people, a group of survivors of a great climate-related cataclysm, to refound civilization in the flooded remains of the world. You'll have to explore and scavenge to find building supplies, research new and forgotten technology, and deal with events and make hard decisions in some of those events that might affect the integrity and cohesion of your settlement and its people. Ultimately, it's your goal to unite the survivors, both your own people and those you meet along the way, behind your vision of tomorrow, which, given how many different and in some cases conflicting visions of tomorrow might be out there, will be no small task. If any of that sounds interesting to you, then again, do be sure to check out the link down in the video description and give the game a peek for yourself during Next Fest. And while you're down there, if by the end of the video you decide you enjoyed what you saw and you want to see more, consider leaving a comment or booping some of those lovely buttons to let Saint Algorithmus know. But with all of that said and done, let's jump into the game. Okay then, well, with the beginning of a new game, the first choice you have is which clan you're going to start with. The choices are Good Neighbours, they represent more of an Old World Liberty faction. You've got the Oak Hill Survivors, Old World Autocracy. Then you have the Fire Brigade, New World Liberty, and finally the Berkut 3, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, New World Autocracy. Now, each one has a different sort of worldview, and these are actually kind of important because you are going to be trying to unite humanity, to shape the society that you're rebuilding in the wake of the cataclysm. Not everyone is going to agree with everything you stand for, so this will have repercussions going along, and it is quite important to pick one that is going to suit your playstyle, because it is going to be a particularly rough road if your particular choices at certain events kind of run contrary to the expectations that you set by defining your initial clan, though there will be further clan kind of development throughout the game. Now, the old world versus the new world, the idea is, I guess, trying to get back to what once was rather than adapting to the new normal. But again, liberty and autocracy, I imagine they're fairly self-explanatory. So it really is whether you want the new form of liberty or autocracy or the old form. Are you going to try and rebuild the world as it was, or build, like, kind of grow into the world as it is? And I'm more in favor of growing into the world as it is and adapting to what the new normal. So let's check out Fire Brigade, a clan founded by a rescuer of a fire department, united to help as many people as possible. The group eventually formed a long-lasting community. The fire chiefs highly value diversity and tolerance, but also know how to strongly defend themselves against violence from other groups and punish those who break internal laws. To emphasize their multicultural identity, the clan celebrates holidays from different traditions together. That's actually quite lovely. Worldview, a New World Liberty, a clan that values freedom, science, and personal growth. And the clan traits are resilient. Disease severity progress rate decreased by 40% for the clan members. Quite an important one there. And then we've got New World Autocracy. Former oil drilling platform workers and their descendants. The ultra-modern Berkut 3 platform survived the tsunami, but was completely cut off from the world. When supplies began to run out, the crew, on their own, decided to sail a life raft to the coast. They formed a well-organized clan with a strong emphasis on technical knowledge. Berkut 3 members try to use their knowledge and skill to create a community best suited to the challenges of the new world. They believe in a strong, centralized authority, capable of making rational decisions quickly. That doesn't surprise me too much. I mean, I don't really know how life on an oil rig works, but if it's kind of more towards a kind of maritime sort of thing, then you're more than likely going to have like a kind of captain kind of power structure at top, the captain, moving down, lieutenants, so on and so forth. A new world autocracy, a clan that values science and rational thinking, but also order and security. And clan trait, explorers, makes the clan search and collect goods 50% for... If we're picking purely based on clan traits and kind of discarding the idea of liberty versus autocracy, this sounds a lot more, a lot better to me. Exploration is going to be a pretty big part of the game, so we are absolutely going to be going with New World Autocracy. Look, 50% faster. How can I turn that down? 50% faster food gathering, my lord. And tea gathering, more importantly. Difficulty level, we'll just roll with the regulars. We will allow the tutorial so that we can actually learn the game together. Ah, that'll be lovely. Do not enter when flooded. And that's going to be bloody hard, considering most of the world has been flooded at this point. I guess this is during the dry season. No. For a moment, I thought he was just like dragging the boat along the mud, but no, it's just very murky water. Okay, fair enough. What a fantastic setting this is going to be. Waterworld, here we come. Only a little bit less wet than Waterworld, I should imagine. Your attention is needed. On. We've arrived. This is where the scouts set up the flares. It looks like they were right. They found the signs I told them to look for. I must say, I'm a touch nervous. We're going to try restarting civilization. Oh, well, you know, starting small, I guess. Or at least give it that initial spark. However, this isn't something people do every day, you know. Speaking of sparks, this is the spot from where we're going to launch our search for the pre-event rebirth power plant. Pre-event refers to the cataclysmic tsunami. Before the world turned into an ocean. It was top of the line just before everything collapsed. For over 20 years, only scavengers have roamed this place. From time to time, setting temporary camps, probably unaware of the treasures to be found here. Now, I have the most trustworthy intel that the plant is somewhere in the area. First, though, I'm hungry. I guess everyone is. We can't just jumpstart civilization if we started that. That is very true. That is very true. Looks like our captain over here, Philip Johnson. I officially represent Berkrit 3 as their chief, and we're all concerned about the food. But we should think beyond the nearest days. Let's secure some surplus for the future. That seems like a very good idea. Chapter 1. Stationary Travelers. This flooded wasteland may become the birthplace of the new urban civilization. However, first, we have to take care of our survival here. Find all the scouts and take care of them. Very well. Find our peeps and restore order. Now, from what I understand, the world will be procedurally generated each run-through. Each game will be different. Maps, events especially, and the positioning of resources will change from one game to the next. So you're going to have quite a lot of replayability in this, especially the events. I'm quite looking forward to seeing what they're like. Now, search and explore. Set up a scavenging area over resources that can be collected by the scavengers. Nearby storage workers will then take care of the task. Place an exploration marker in an uncharted area to send out a storage worker to scout it. Very well indeed. Okay, we've got some plastics down there. We've got some food, some wood, some herbs, I believe. And we've also got some other gubbins over here. We've also got somewhere to search. So let's get searching going. Our main job, though, is to gather food. So let's actually not try and sequence break. I know it's my special power and all, but let's try and actually do what they've told us to do, shall we? So let's pop down all of those. There we go. Before we take on more tasks, we've got to let the peeps do their thing. Right, there we go. So our scavengers are now be heading out. We can hover over them, see what they're about to do. There we go. We've got all sorts of little things around. Fruits. Fruiting bodies are very tasty. These can be picked by foragers only. That would be more of a building-based gatherer, whereas this is just our storage workers just going out and picking up things that happen to be loose and easy to gather off the ground. So as you can see, these deposits are being collected fairly quickly, and then they're gone. Also, nice. Thank you very much for the flare. That's revealed some more territory. We've got large rubbish piles and basic rubbish piles. These have 50 rubbish, old pieces of plastic in good enough state to serve as building materials. Bloody plastics! Yay, plastic. A large pile of garbage only a sorting hut can collect. So much like these can only be collected by a dedicated gatherer building, I imagine. That would be the same for this. We've got over here Ooh, boat wrecks. Cast ashore like toys. We've got old world relics found in old ruins, and during expeditions, study them to regain knowledge of the old world. Also, textbooks. DIY, self-help, organization, logistics. Study the knowledge of the old world in cram academies to speed up clans' development. Okay. Yeah, that is cram academies. Water. Risky food, raw, unprocessed food, mostly fish, as well as scraps found while scavenging. Eating it will make you nauseous, but it's better than starving. Only marginally. Seems like it's going to be enough for a while. Now that we don't have to starve, we can, jumpstart civilization. You say this a lot. It almost feels like abiogenesis out here in the untamed flooded lands. Oh. Whoops, sorry. Abiogenesis is a fancy word that I know. What do I look like, my lord? It's a fancy biology word that means the start of life. I'm almost embarrassed to use such big words, but sometimes they're just too... Why would you be embarrassed to use the right word? Oh, my lord. What has happened on this oil rig? I'm going to have words with our chief. My goodness. Right, so... Back together. The scouts that came to this area before us have continued to explore. We should find them and see what kind of information they might have. I need to talk to them to see if they've discovered any details about the power plant. However, so far, everything looks good. It's definitely the right area. One step at a time. Though. The scouts are currently holed up in some of the old derelicts floating around here. Let's go and collect them. Collect the scouts. Just sling them over my shoulder and carry them back. Okay, well, population is... We've got 5 out... Well, 10 out of 5? That doesn't make much sense. Find all the scouts, though. Let's have a look. So, I believe they're going to be in one of the buildings. That is unlocked by something. We can search this one. Got old dead trees there and not dead trees. Those can be chopped down, I think, by a lumbering yard. There is no more free space for prepared food and storage. Okay, fair enough. Loads of water. Here we are. Building remnants. Wonder... actually, I think that had a exclamation mark over the top of it, didn't it? I was completely blind to it once it actually told me to start looking in the buildings. Wonder if the residents or their descendants are still alive somewhere in the area. Can be adapted into a renovated house. Oh, that's quite nice. We will get, I have no idea, rubbish, water, and some sort of battery we can approach. During gameplay, you come across ruins of buildings on the map. If there is an icon with an exclamation mark, way to rub it in, game, it means that sending people there and interaction with its occupants will occur. The overview of each ruin contains all the necessary information about what can be found there. Besides the resources that can be collected from such places, there is also a box that informs you about the chance to get infected while staying there. Oh, infected. Is there anything in there that tells me about that? I don't really see it, but... Okay, well, let's head over there. Go, go, go. Let's get in there and search. While you're doing that, I would like to search elsewhere as well. If you could, please and indeed thank you. Let's get all of these things searched where we can. We'll also send someone down here to search. There we go. We've still got a couple of places set to be scavenged. Ooh. New people found. They have resources. We found them. The scouts barely survived the expedition. Most of their equipment and resources lost when their boats sank in the storm. Now they are happy to join us, but on the condition there is enough food for all of us. They can manage on their own for a while yet, they say, and they don't want to be a burden. I like them already. It's not a case of, no, we won't come over there unless you can assure that we're going to have food. It's like, no, we don't want to be a burden on you. Unless you got food for everyone, we'll just camp out here for a little while. Very dapper indeed. Invite them to join us, for we have much food. There we are. We've met people who are not members of any clan. They are eager to join us. The clan system, I'm most excited about that. And the way that you might have factions within your people, or at the very least, different factions that you interact with on the world and may have very differing kind of ideologies and how the kind of maybe friction, maybe alliances would form. There we go. Let's go ahead and get you in there. Find the scouts. All done and done. Alright, what's up next? Also, let's get a little bit more... Oh, okay, maybe not. The scouts confirm it. This is the area. Not that I had any doubts, but now I have hard scientific evidence. The rebirth power plant has been leaching a very specific isotope into the waters around here. It gives us a direction. It's a massive swath of untamed floodland that needs to be combed through. Still, we're closer than anyone has been in over 20 years. Outcome? New development possibilities available. And research. Ah, everyone has research. Time to settle down. We've had our first theft. Raccoons! They're getting into everyone's food. We need to start making some serious group storage buildings. The food is useless if it's being pilfered by man or beast. Also, we shouldn't continue sleeping in the same place where we store our supplies. It's no good for our things, nor for our sleep. It does sound like we're no longer nomads, but we'll have to start laying down serious roots. Okay. Let me go ahead and pop this down. Ponk. There we go. I'm very happy that these people have joined us. It proves that we're not just a bunch of dreamers, and that our determination can inspire others. I agree. Set up a permanent storage facility. Very well. We've got 1 point in here. New start. Unlocks the most basic technologies, and we can use a point. We've got a couple of different ways that we can develop, sorry. If we come back into here, we've got the development branch, the survival branch, the living branch, and the exploration. And then this one is, you could sort of imagine this as the like gate to the tier of constructions we can make. So this would be the rubbish tier, using plastic and recycled rubbish to build things. This would be the wood tier, using wood to do it, rubble, plank, scrap, going on all the way to like concrete tier facilities. But we need to go into exploration, I do believe, and we've got a small storage. Each storage is part of a global stock and increases its capacity. Storage workers handle scavenging, construction, and resource transportation. Each Pathfinder camp and storage building increases the limit of storage tasks by 1. It costs 300 plastic to do, though. We have unlocked this by having developed the new start, so right there. I wonder if there's anything else that we can unlock at this point. Let's have a quick look around. No, that one needs small so we would need to have small storage down. We've got a bunch of the things in there. I imagine all of these are kind of the new start level of tech, so we'll see how all of that unlocks. But let's go ahead and develop you, and then head on back out. That was our only research point, most sadly. Right, okay. Now we need to... We can't build. However, introduction, encampment. Each building has an overview of the people working in it at the moment. This number can be freely modified, but the fewer workers a building has, the less efficient it'll be. That is quite fair. Next tip, please. Clicking on the highlighted button will open the current task list, which is useful for managing and prioritizing the work of your people. There are no tasks, apparently. An overview of current task displays all activities that are currently performed by the residents in priority order. By switching the tabs in the upper part of the window, you can access different categories of activities related to exploration and gathering, but also construction buildings. Oh, that's quite cool. So I'll be able to tell them, right, okay, that's actually very, very nice. Yeah, let's make sure that food is way down the bottom, because we can't really fit that in right now. But that's pretty solid. Let's shimmy you up as well. Actually, let's make sure that that one's at the top. That way we've got more of the plastics being gathered. I'm not going to push that one up because it's also got food there. But that's quite cool. Right, but I do believe we are going to need 300 plastic for the next job. Now, we do have some time controls up in the top right, as you will tend to find in these sorts of games, so you can hurry things along if you've got a bit of time to wait. But there we go. We've already got all of the necessary rubbish for us, so we should be able to upgrade to small storage. There's no more space for water in storage. Well, I mean, that's different from not having water, so I will accept. I'm fine with not having space to store more, as long as the amount that we can store is sufficient for our people at the moment. That may not be the case, though. We might have to look at it. Why are you climbing over the cliff there instead of just going down the path? The raccoons won't be getting into our food stores anymore. Also, we've started to build a real settlement. Consider it the groundbreaking ceremony. Congratulations. Okay, well, thank you very much. We've got some more research. I'm a big fan of that. Oh, yes, indeed I am. Since we turned our encampment into storage, we no longer have a place to sleep. So, for now, we've built ourselves provisional tarps. 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards. I think we should start moving into some serious shelters. Eventually, it'll be a good idea to make it so no one has to sleep out under the stars. However, resources are limited, so it may be a bit of time before we can accommodate everyone. Okay, well, that's fair. Let's slow down time then and start considering our options, because I do believe that we had something over here. We must fully search this building first, and then hopefully we can upgrade it. Can this one do the same? No, that cannot. Can any of the other buildings do the same? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so that's a specialist building that we're going to be able to upgrade. Okay, well, that's fair enough. We do have, however, a research point. Living. And the tent. Let's have a look at you then. Makeshift tent made of rubbish and sheets of fabric draped over. Okay, well, it seems like a reasonable thing for us to go and grab. Right, we've got a building. This will cost 150 rubbish. Look, I'm sorry, okay? It is what it is. At least it is. You're going to get someone to sleep. So, you know, stop your complaining. Yes, I know it's made of rubbish. No, I wouldn't be particularly happy about living in a tent made of rubbish either. But I would be very happy with not having to be faced with inclement weather when it starts raining, especially if there was more to this cataclysm than, you know, just the flood. Who knows what kinds of rains are going to fall down now. What a terrifying idea. Okay, our tents are finished, or at least one of them is. Great, that's a fabulous start. As said, we'll want housing for everyone, but make sure you focus on food and water first. It's a real Maslow's hierarchy of needs sort of situation. That is fair. We've got 10 research. Oh, what am I going to spend all that on? Time for a reality check. We know this won't be a quick camping adventure. Before we even start looking for the power plant, we have to think about setting up something more permanent and more sustainable, with solid, sustainable methods of gathering food, water, and materials. It's going to be a bit of a winding path, but never forget that keeping people's basic needs met is what's most important when it comes to being in charge. Sometimes you might have to make hard choices to try and keep everyone fed. Hopefully, it won't come to that, of course. Oh dear. Is this a Dark Aavak kind of game? I'm not getting that feel from the bright colours, but who knows what these cheerful colours, what terrible, sinister things await down below. Provide a steady supply of edible plants or fish. Ensure that people have access to clean water and gather a supply of rubbish. Okay, well, first and foremost, before we get to that, I'm going to start exploring a little bit more. I am curious about what we're going to find. As you've probably already noticed, this world is, well, quite flooded. So the world is mostly little islands and kind of swampy lands. The cataclysm, or chain of cataclysms, changed the world in a fairly big way. And so mostly you're going to be hopping from place to place, gathering resources, meeting new people, taking part in various events. We're going to need a bit more plastic before I can get on with that. So let's make sure that I'm grabbing some of those plastic bits from down there. We're also going to need a bit more water. And in fact, the wood would also be quite nice. We're going to need to gather a fairly large supply of rubbish. Right now, we don't have a good amount of housing going on. How many issues? Let's see. There are 11 homeless people in your community. Yeah, we do need to get to that. So let's go ahead and renovate this house. That's going to give us room for 5 people, which means we'll only need an additional 3 tents to be able to satisfy the remainder. I believe each one of these can handle 2 people. Let's actually each one of them can handle 3. So yeah, we'd only need 2 tents. So it's even better than I was thinking. I'm totally down with that. But all right, that looks like it's going to take us a little bit of time in continuing out our exploration. I love the little flares that they release. I think that's actually quite a cool little detail there. Let's get some of this plastic brought back where you can. Providing shelter should be our utmost priority. I am working on it, my dude. Calm. It is fine. It will happen. I promise. Where do we want these 2 tents? We can have these 2. Let's rotate them around a little bit so that they're kind of facing outwards. There we go. That'll do. That'll do quite nicely, actually. I am liking the little details here and there, and I don't know. I'm a sucker for a game with a day-night cycle, even if the time doesn't really relate to anything. In this one, it does. They do seem to go to bed when it's nighttime and get up and do work when it's daytime. But even when it's more or less just a visual thing, I don't know. I enjoy watching the shadows get along and kind of dance across the ground. It really gives especially to kind of a post-apocalyptic feel. I don't know why, but the sort of transition from bright sunlight to lamplight, it really fits the aesthetic, I think. But we're going to have a little bit of time before we have everyone set up. Oh, this house is ready now. Have they renovated it much? Are they just sleeping in there? I can sort of see little bits and bobs, maybe some little... it looks like they've just built tents inside the house. Well, you know what? That probably does help quite a lot. The walls, at the very least, would help buffer against the wind. But that should be all of the peeps in houses now, which I'm actually quite happy about. So the next thing we need to do is have a look at some new tech. So we're going to need to unlock technologies which are based on rubbish. That sounds so weird. Right. We've got the forager hut, the water still, the fishing dock, the field kitchen. Well, let's have a quick look at these. This will take risky food and turn it into prepared food. Fishing dock will produce risky food. Water still will produce water, obviously. And the forager hut will prepare berries and mushrooms just straight into prepared food. So that actually seems like possibly the better option there. What about development? We've got the sorting hut. Allows for a faster collection and sorting of rubbish from large deposits. Ooh, this one seems like one we should grab straight away. Next up, for the sake of trying to be efficient with our research points, we're going to grab the forager hut over the fishing dock and field kitchen. And then water as well. That leaves us with 2, which I'm going to hold on to for now. We'll see what else there is. We can get to paths. Developed planks are, well, it's quite far away. Is there anything we can do here? No, it doesn't look like we can just yet, but that's fine. Right, okay, so for survival, we're going to want a water still. The simplest kind of purification system that filters the water from the river to provide clean water to the community. Needs to be built in shallow water. So then I would assume down here would be good. There we go. 320 just for that, though. Oof. Maybe I should have gone for the forager hut first. It looks like I can place it down, though, ahead of time, but it might not be able to even... it probably won't begin producing anything until we have got... we've got the building set up. So hopefully it won't take any people out of the workforce either. Though, sorry, I was a little bit distracted there because it was like, yes, we're going to build something sustainable. I hope these grow back then, because I noticed that there is a very finite number there. That's the opposite of sustainable. It's just a larger stockpile for us to take things out of. Are we going to starve? I am a little bit concerned. Well, we've got food over here. Let me go and grab... Oh, well, we've got a lot of food right there as well. And you know what? Could you explore this terrain a bit? Explore that terrain as well. Let's just keep our scouts constantly moving and doing bits and bobs. We've got a fair old couple of things to build. We have got water now, though. Water coming in. How much are we losing? We're losing 5 a day, but this can bring in 15 a day. Okay, so we're actually not going to be hurting there. Now, our balance is minus 20 a day here. Ooh. And this can bring in 10. Okay, I'm starting to see why we might want the fishing hut. But if I were to build this, then that should break even. Still not great. We don't want to break even. We want to have a surplus wherever possible. My mother always had the saying, knowledge is power. Wise words, but power is also power. That's true. Giving me slightly despotic vibes there, dude. Maybe keep those thoughts to yourself. From now on, I'm totally A-okay with you being a benevolent dictator, but just be the emphasis on the benevolent part, all right? You can, or as you could probably already tell from the different clans, you can kind of go more down the sort of like egalitarian utopia route, or indeed the benevolent dictator route. I think ultimately you're always going to have the best interests of your people in mind, but how you express protecting and caring for them will differ. Are you going to you know, try and have a very liberal, very democratic kind of utopia? Everyone's voice matters, or is this going to be kind of more of an overlord scenario where the denizens of Nazarick are your number one priority, but everyone outside of that is just a tool to be used to further improve the lives of the denizens of Nazarick? I guess it depends a little bit on your playstyle, I suppose. We'll see how the choices in the game pan out to enforce that. Oh, we've got some more houses over here. Very nice indeed. Let's continue doing the exploration, though. I want to know what we're heading into. Trying to be cheeky a little bit, I guess, and get some free scouting. Oh. Ah, okay. We can't scout this area, it looks like. Area out of range. Right, okay. So we have got a bit of a limit on how far out we can get with our scouting. Duly noted. Can we go down here, perhaps? Or is this... No, I think we're going to need... Well, I'm assuming we're going to be able to build boats. In a game about a great flood, and considering there's no obvious path over there... Oh. That doesn't look too healthy. I'm going to assume that there's going to be some sort of water travel. Look at all of these. I wonder if we can get to all of these in time. I would imagine you could. It's quite exciting, honestly. Right, we've got a fair old bit of rubbish that we need to collect. So I'm going to allow our scouts to do a little bit more scouting, a little bit more gathering, and I shall bring you back when we're ready to progress. Success! Production chains. We've squared away most of our basic needs. This is a good first step. We can't find anything if we're starving to death, or dying from dehydration for that matter. After all, civilization consists of people, and people are biological beings with biological limitations and biological needs. Loads of research. Wow, okay, fair enough. Right, let's slow that down a little bit. Bricks in the edifice of knowledge. We need to start applying the scientific method to researching the area. There's a lot of things we could be doing if we had the technology. This area seems to have a lot to offer. Resources, derelicts. Also, the isotopic runoff from the rebirth power plant has thankfully not killed off the local fish populations. We should start studying everything we can. Old world relics, water levels, radiation levels in our food. The more we know, the more likely we are to succeed. All knowledge is good knowledge. Okay, fair enough. I will make that our priority. Provide a place for people to study. We have got our first rubbish sorting hut over here between two rather expansive sources of rubbish there that we can start bringing things in from. We are also slowly scavenging out in this direction. I found a house over here with we need lockpicks for, which is kind of cool. And whether we're going to be able to put together lockpicks. We've also got two exclamation mark areas, two event areas for us to look into. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and, by the looks of it, unlock wood. Very well. And then on to developments. Study and the logging hut. Alright, well, let's have a look at the study first. A small place to collect, analyze, and archive old world knowledge. Uses old world relics to produce research. 1 relic, 10 wow, okay, that's actually pretty good. I will accept. A small camp for lumberers cutting down nearby trees. Produces wood. I will also I will not accept. I no longer have the points. Adds a new operation mode for study, which allows to gain experience and level up. Okay, I'll take that one too. Right, so we want to produce research. 0 of 10 currently. So we want the study, and we'll make this quite close into the middle, I think. Probably Seagull Marsh. What a fantastic name this place has. Alright, a small place to collect and analyze and archive old world knowledge. Uses old world relics to produce research. Can have 3 workers there. It's going to take a fair old bit of wood to do, but there's quite a lot of wood out and about in the world for us to still scavenge, so I'm not too worried about running out before we can build a lumbering shack. What other rules had to say? You've told us this one, Philip. Without drinking water, the town will face chaos. That's true. How is our water doing? I mean, our storage capacity is kind of garbage. Why is that, then? Oh. Oh, no, you've got everyone there you need. Not quite sure why that isn't working out so well. It seems like we should be producing more. Well, I guess we're only running... Well, it's saying 15 plus 15 daily. So I would have imagined that we would have been seeing this increase, not go down. But no, that doesn't seem to be the case. All right, well, given that then, let's have a look. Idle people too. I guess we could afford to pop down a second drinking water area then. So I think we will. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Now, if that's the case, there are 4 thirsty people in your community. Provide them with water. I'm working on it. Also, we can search up there. I suppose that would also help. But we've got places to investigate down hither. Let's go and approach this one as soon as I've got someone available to do it. We'll get old world knowledge and textbooks, hopefully. Can I not go there? Area is not reachable. What? Oh. Do we actually not have proximity to it? Ah, alright. Well, let's slow down time a little bit then. Let's see. Can I build a second... I can build another small storage. That might be what we need to do then in that case. Is there anywhere sort of midway between the two? I mean, I don't necessarily want to build one all the way over here. That being said, maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to do that. Sure, alright, let's build a new small storage all the way out there and see if that can help us. There's no more space for water in this sort of... Really? If it's not one problem, it's the next. Fine. But we are, thankfully, producing some research. In this panel, you can choose the operation mode of the building. Each mode means different functions. Selecting one of them blocks the others until the mode is changed again. To make the choice, drop down the building mode list and select one of the displayed ones. This will result in a change of modes. Okay. To check the earned experience, press the community info button at the bottom of the screen. Ooh. Okay, lots of information here. Clan member's skill. Experience 0 out of 10,000. My lord. Discipline, erudition, expression, fortitude, precision. Quality inspector. Clan's precision specialization is raised by 1. Quality inspectors from our leader, I guess. Explorers makes clan collect things faster. That's one of our traits. Recreation, satisfaction, influence per day. Okay, so there's quite a lot here. Food, water, health. I like it. And as far as the mode, we can go into Academy mode, which allows us to turn books into experience. So I guess 10,000 experience out of reading a book. Okay, that's also kind of useful if I'm honest. Alright, well, let's cut this down just a little bit. We're going to have only 1 person working there, and likewise only 1 person working in here. Well, maybe we should avoid cutting that down too aggressively. We'll see, I guess. But let's see what we can do for now. I could just have 1 person working in the study. Might not be a terrible idea, all things said and done. There we go. We've now got ourselves a facility where some people can call themselves scientists. Well, that's maybe a bit of an exaggeration. Apprentices of science is probably more appropriate. But they are doing science, working to help all of us with improvements in construction and engineering and, well, everything. Okay, I approve. We've got scientists. Now that we've got the beginnings of a real settlement, we need to keep in mind what our end goal is. If we actually find the rebirth power plant, we'll have to run the rebirth power plant. We need to start training people in specialized skills. We'll need people who can work, think, lead, and follow. They've been fighting with sticks for decades. We need to put that behind us. We need to become civilized once again. We should focus on training people in ways that would be useful for maintaining a permanent settlement or working with technology. You'll also want to start forging connections with the clans. Also foraging connections with the clans. I'm sure that would work out somehow. You're in charge, but the people have their own opinions. They'll make their desires known, and sadly, no one is going to love everything you do. In fact, most of them will probably won't even like most of what you do. That is a grim reality, I suppose, yes. You'll have to find a way to keep everyone together and focused on the goal. Still, we're well on our way. Set up a workplace for people with specialized skills, set up a learning environment for people to improve their skills, increase the fortitude amongst people, and fill one of the skilled jobs. Very well, we will do our damnedest to make that happen. I promise. Alright, well, for the time being, we have managed, I feel, to produce all of the research that we need. We've got 2 books. We need a 3rd to be able to make the final item there. How are we going to do with this? Let's cut one of the workers from here and just see what we can do. We really, really do quite badly need that taken care of, though. If we can get that all sorted. In fact, let's check on the skills that we've got. Show task list. Construction. I mean, it's pretty much already there, so I guess we're just going to have to wait on that one. What was the problem? Clan is ready to learn a new skill. Really? So it is. Okay, improve skill. I guess it's one book worth 10,000. Right, okay, improve skill. Well, wanted fortitude. This skill lets your people work more efficiently in jobs like catching fish for food, gathering rubbish, mining coal, and forging metal. I agree. Let's go ahead and grab that one then. Improve. Alright, very, very nice indeed. What does expression do? The skill lets your people work more efficiently in jobs like making food in the kitchen and bakeries. The skill lets your people work more efficiently in jobs like gathering water, herbs, creating medications, and researching. And finally, discipline. This skill lets your people work more efficiently in jobs like gathering scrap, cutting wood, making rubble in brickyards, or charcoal in charcoal mounds. Okay, so varying methods to get raw resources. We are going to need very badly to increase these, and sharpish too, I'm thinking. Okay, well, this seems to be the thing that's holding us back, but I think we might have enough now. Hopefully we do. And yes, indeed we do. No, no, don't go to bed. Ah, damn it. Wake up, peeps. I need things done. Right, there we go. I am going to pull 5 people from here and move 5 of them over here. There we go. That will do remarkably well. Now, with this in place, we should, I'm hopeful, be able to scavenge an awful lot of things from around here. In fact, we should also be able to send out some more explorers into these areas as well. Let's slow things down a little bit. We need... Do we have water? We really don't. Well, I guess we could pull someone from there, bump that one up by 1. Pull someone in from here, bump that one up by 1. Let's just focus on making sure that we've got enough food for now. Currently, our food balance isn't going poorly, but it could certainly be improved. That one's already been more or less completely scavenged. How about you? Not a lot there for us to scavenge. We could approach this one. There's some water, there's some food. There used to be a happy family living here. Or rather, happy families. Today, only the wind blows. Once houses like these gave happiness and filled with pride. Today, they're only reminders of the unfortunate fate of their former occupants. How grim. Wonder if the residents of this, or their descendants, are still alive somewhere in this area. Well, I guess we're going to find out. We're going to approach this one, and then after that, we're also going to approach this one. I think that makes an awful lot of sense. Okay, fill one of the skilled jobs, and also set up a place for people with specialized skills. Well, let's go ahead and have a quick gander then, shall we? Logging hut. Oh, we could also go for rubble. We've got just enough to do it, but following that, we wouldn't have enough research to do anything else. I guess we could go for a forager house. Allows more sorting huts to collect berries and mushrooms, providing more prepared food for the entire community. That might be what we want then. We haven't gone with fishing at all, but I think I'd be okay with grabbing the upgraded forager house, honestly. Sure, let's develop that for 10. What do I need for you? We need to develop planks for this one. Herb picking mode. Okay, and then the forager lodge. But with that, I should be able to upgrade a forager house there. And we don't have quite enough wood to upgrade this one, but we'll see how things go. Oh no, they're starting to eat the risky food. No! Damn it, we're too late. Right, there we go. Success, broaden horizons. Just look at us. A while ago, we were a bunch of ragged tramps. Well, hang on a second, speak for yourself. Forgive the language, but I mean also myself. Oh, okay, well, you were speaking for yourself in that case. Fair enough. I guess it has been a little while since I've sewn new patches onto my jacket. And now we're like a well-oiled survival machine. At this rate, we might not even need the rebirth power plant for civilization to be, well, reborn. But we will find it, and this will be our renaissance. Big words again, I know, but I'm just so excited that I can't help myself. It's okay, you can use all the words you want. If I don't understand one, I'll ask. All right, outcome 9, research. Very, very nice. Radio tower. I've learned that this power plant was part of an experimental project, a joint venture between the private sector and the government. That's why there's so much military leftovers in the area, including a nearby radio tower. Some of the scouts that were sent to this area have yet to be found. They should have a radio receiver on them, though. If we can get the tower up and running, we might be able to contact them. On top of that, if we need more manpower to achieve what we want, we might be able to reach other people in the area with the radio transmissions. We've already seen signs that we're not alone in the area. That is very true. Gain the means of long-distance communication and locate other groups of people. But sadly, this apparently ragged tramp, yes, I am bitter about that, has run all out of time for this episode, so we'll need to put a hold on the Renaissance for now. But that isn't to say you have to. Again, if what you've seen today sparks your interest, please be sure to check out the link I have in the video description down below. The Floodland demo will be available as part of Next Fest until the 10th of October, and beyond that is aiming for a November release, so even if you miss your chance with Next Fest, you won't have terribly long to wait for your chance to pick the game up for yourself. But with that, I'm afraid that is it for this episode. So as always, do leave a like if you liked and sub if you haven't already. But until next time, do take care.